Well, good evening. Just relaxing here on the boat. Did a few things today. I cleaned the dinghy. I left it in tied up on the back of the boat and didn't lift it out of the water at night. So a lot of marine growth, hard marine growth on the bottom of it. And even the engine, I should have tilted the engine up. Just got really lazy. And so when you do that, you leave it in this kind of water in Florida in the ICW. That hard growth is very difficult to get off. I mean, you can't scrub it off. You have to use something like piece of non-scratchable rubber or something, or this plastic, like a spatula. I found worked pretty well for me. Actually, this one here, it's got these perforations. I would get a non-perforated one because this one tends to bend. And those that hard marine growth, if you cut yourself on it, you can get an infection. So probably a good idea to wear gloves, which I didn't. So I just took the dinghy over to this tiny little beach or little sandbar beside the bridge, and took the motor off, and then just flipped the dinghy upside down, and then worked on the dinghy from the beach, scraping off all those, I don't know what it is, barnacles. I don't really know what it's called, but it's hard growth. Like they're the size of half a centimeter in diameter and less. So there's tiny little things, but hard to get off. So it must have took me about 45 minutes to scrape all that stuff off and then give it a scour, and then back to the boat. So tonight I've got the boat hanging from a halyard. Ultimately, I wish this boat had an arch with davits off the back, and the arch would have hard solar panels on it. That's really what you need. And of course, this dinghy's not that great either. It's junk. It's a PVC dinghy that's been exposed to a lot of sun now, and it's starting to get gummy. So I wouldn't, if you're going to be a long-term cruiser, go with I think it's called Hyperlon or Hyperlon or something like that. Anyways, that particular material lasts a lot longer, and it's not going to get gummed up. Like this cheap PVC dinghy that I have was not meant for taking down to the Caribbean, but I already had a dinghy, just a tiny little 8.5 foot soft bottom dinghy, inflatable floor, and I mean, that's what I had, so may as well use it until it's no good any longer. So it'll get me, it's done what it needed to do, and I'll probably just end up throwing the damn thing out or selling it real cheap to somebody who doesn't mind a little bit of gumminess. Anyways, back to the davit suggestion. If you had the davits on a back of the boat, it would make it far more easier to just pull up a dinghy every night. People just get lazy, like they just come back from whatever they're doing during the day and just do a quick tie on the back of their boat. Like I've got a walk-in transom here, so right here there's a little hook. I can't see it right there. Just by the gas can there, there's a place I can tie up the dinghy, the painter, and easy entrance in here to the cockpit. So being so easy to get into the cockpit, I don't even bother trying to lift the dinghy out. And like I said, there's a spinnaker halyard on the bow of the boat that I can lift the dinghy out, lift it out 6 inches out of the water, and that way you don't get marine growth, especially that hard marine growth. But of course, getting back to the arch, now we're looking at a couple $1,000s to have that thing installed. So, but anyways, I don't suspect I'm going to need that now. Just I probably won't be using my dinghy much as soon as I leave Florida. Get north, probably I don't see myself requiring a dinghy. Hope not, anyways. Just go into a marina for a night if I need to get groceries. Just go into a marina and load up that way rather than anchor out. We'll see. What else is going on? Oh yeah, so I'm having some performance problems. My boat, I mean, I think I got up to 6 or 7 knots in the ICW, but typically I can easily get up to 8 knots, and the RPM would easily exceed 28,000 RPMs. However, yes, 2 days ago I went to get fuel and I noticed that my RPM gauge wasn't going past 2,000 RPM, and I had the thing in full blast. It was fully engaged. The throttle was full blast, let's say, and 2,000 RPMs. There was something wrong, but I suspect what's happening is I've got a really high-pitched prop, and it's probably got so much marine growth on there. It's just not efficient. I checked it again today, and I'm getting a lot. Like if I just gun it forward, there's all kinds of current coming out of the back of the boat. Like you can tell the propeller's thrusting, but it doesn't want to go past 2,000 RPM. So, yeah, the marine growth on the propeller is going to reduce your efficiency tremendously. Plus, I've probably got a lot of growth on the bottom of the boat too. Sitting here, my anti-foul paint, which was put on 2 years ago, is useless now. It's an ablative paint. I think I put 4 coats of ablative paint meant for salt water, but I mean it's just not there. It's just it needs to be done again. But if I can just make it back to Canada, it's not like I'm too worried about bottom growth, but it definitely slows you down. The propeller needs to be clean though. So I did call a couple people, but they want you to be at a marina, so I'm not going to spend 100. Like the marina for one night is going to cost you a couple $100. It's crazy here. It's like $5-6 a foot per night, just over there. Nuts. So I'm not doing that. And there is a guy that kind of works under the table apparently, and he hasn't called me back, so I'll try and give him a call on Monday. Maybe I can, I don't know what kind of gear he's got, but if he's got a hookah that's portable, maybe I can just go pick him up at the public dock and bring him here, and he can clean the bottom, specifically the propeller. And if that doesn't work, then I'm going to have to go to an inlet, Peanut Island. There's the inlet there, and when tide's coming in, the water does clear up a little bit, so I could probably at least see what's going on. So worst case scenario, I'll bring the boat over to Peanut Island, anchor, and go down and have a look. And I can't hold my breath that long, but I might be able to scrape off enough barnacles to get at least the prop performance better now. The efficiency. Like if you've got all that, if you've seen the bottom of my dinghy, how the growth was on that, and my prop has been underwater and hasn't been cleaned since Dominican Republic. So I don't know. Let's say that was in March. I think that I probably had it clean March 12th or something. March, April, May. Yeah, that's like 2 months of being in the worst anchorages. Well, at least here anyways. Over a month here. This is bad. Lots of ways to get your anchor fouled. Or sorry, not your anchor. your propeller fouled with all the growth. Funny thing is, my chain, my anchor chain, and my anchor itself, no growth on it whatsoever. So I'm happy about that. I pulled that up 2 days ago when I went to the marina for fuel, and no, that's fine. It's no growth on the chain, just a little bit of fuzz or whatever, but nothing to be concerned about. That's about it. There was a tropical storm that came past, I think it was Saturday or something, but luckily it went south of Miami, and all we got was a westerly wind as it passed south of Miami, and then I think the wind might have backed towards the north for a little bit, but today it's really calm and comfortable. Anyways, I think I'm going to go to bed early tonight. Probably give that guy a call tomorrow to see if he can come and clean the bottom.